Is there a God? Throughout centuries, philosophers and people have argued over the existence of God, and many theological ideas have been created to prove or disprove the idea of there being a figure that is higher than us all. The cosmological argument was created by St. Thomas Aquinas in the 13th century. The argument consists of 4 different arguments: the argument for motion, the argument of causation, the argument from contingency, and the argument from degrees. The argument for motion argues that something that is moving must have been set in motion by something else, otherwise there would be an infinite regress. You get an infinite regress when in a chain of reasoning, the evidence for each point along the chain relies on the existence of something that came before it, which in turn relies on something even further back, and so on, with no starting point. Something in Aquinas' eyes that could not happen. The argument of causation states that something that has been caused has to be caused by something else. This is the uncaused cause, which is God. The argument from contingency argues that contingent things cause contingent things, but they cannot only be contingent things, as there would be an infinite regress. So therefore, there must be a necessary being that always will and always has existed, which is God. The argument from degree says that all values would be rendered useless unless there was something that was perfect, and defined perfect, and everything was measured against this. It is also said that God is the pinnacle of perfect. The cosmological argument can be considered valid, and as a good theory, as it argues that there cannot be an infinite regress, as there would be a circle and no starting point, and it also establishes that there is a God. However, the arguments do not seem to establish the existence of a particular God, but we are left with uncaused causes and unmoved movers. This, however, does not relate to a God that theists believe, or a God that answers praise or helps people, but in fact is very different. Aquinas' arguments state that there has to be a starting point, or there would be an infinite regress, but this has not necessarily been proven, and therefore it cannot be said that an infinite regress is incorrect, further proving Aquinas' argument incorrect. Furthermore, the cosmological argument says that everything has to have a cause. Therefore, God should follow these rules, and if God is exempt from these rules, then others should be too. An alternative and better theory than the cosmological argument is the teleological argument by William Paley. William Paley argued that like a watch, the world could not have just happened. He argued that like how a watch has a creator, the earth must have one too. Paley also argued that like a computer, not everyone knows how it works. It did not come together by itself, and therefore we can accept that there was a creator. Richard Swinburne, a British philosopher, modernized the theory, saying that even if there is another explanation for the creation of the universe, we should go with the explanation which is most likely true, adding that it was more probable that God created and designed the earth than it happening through an evolutionary process. Now onto the question of what God is like and how we can experience him. God has been depicted very differently in different religions. In Christianity, God is portrayed as an eternal being who created and preserves all things. Christians believe God to be both transcendent and immanent. Christians also believe in the Holy Trinity, that is, in God as the Father, the Son, and the Holy Spirit, and that God took form as a human, as Jesus Christ, and that God is present today through the works of the Holy Spirit and evident in the actions of believers. In Hinduism, contrary to popular belief, Hindus recognize one God, Brahman, the eternal origin who is the cause and foundation of all existence. Brahman is represented through Brahma, Vishnu and Shiva. Brahma is responsible for the creation of the world, Vishnu is a preserver of the universe, and Shiva's role is to destroy in order to recreate. In Islam, in the holy book the Quran, he is referred to as Allah, the Lord of the worlds. He has no personal name, and his traditional 99 names are really epithets. These include the King, the Almighty, and the All-Seer. Now for how we can experience him. In Hinduism, to experience God, one must pray and try and feel the essence of him. Chanting a mantra can help one get better karma, and this will help them reach the ultimate goal. In Islam, you can get close to God but never truly experience him, or at least in this time of day. However, in the past, people saw miracles which were directly sent by God to aid prophets, and these miracles are in some signs the closest we can get to God and physically experience Him in this world. In Christianity, to experience God, one must come clean with God and try and seek forgiveness for all the sins he or she has made.